Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's Jerrad Havens here, financial freedom strategist. And I wanted just to do a quick live and talk about debt relief. We've actually had a lot of people reaching out as of late, really experiencing a lot of issues when it comes to credit card debt, really anything that's you'd be considered unsecured debt. And a lot of times, credit cards, that's going to be the primary source of struggle. As we know, it's just so easy to use credit cards. And if you're in a situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck, things have gotten tighter, it's just an easy thing to do, even though it's not the right thing to do. It's easy to leverage credit cards as a way to, kind of supplement your lifestyle. And because of that, a lot of people right now are experiencing significant debt loads. In fact, right now, statistically, we're experiencing the highest credit card debt load as a nation in our history. And so we have a lot of people reaching out that are really interested in like, what can I do? When it comes to this issue that I'm in, what I'm struggling with, I'm overwhelmed. I don't really know what my options are. And a lot of times the comment that I hear from people when they reach out to us is, is there an option where, I just make one payment per month and you guys just, make these payments for me? That's really what debt relief is. It's a form of it. And so that's where that question's coming from. And one thing that I wanted to bring up right now that I think needs to be extremely clear, if you're someone who's experiencing credit issues, debt issues, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're sick of feeling, like you're in the struggle, that you want to get out of this, then what you need to do, and what I recommend is first analyze your situation. Analyze when it comes to your income, your take home, analyze your spending habits. Are you overspending in any categories? Are you going out to eat too much? Are you buying Amazon too much? There's so many different things that we can do. It's so easy to spend money nowadays. That's really going to be your first step is analyze, what are my spending patterns looking like here? And then on top of that, if it's a situation where you're carrying, I'd say in most cases, $10,000 or more. I mean, right now for us, on average, we're coming across clients that are having anywhere between $20 to $40,000 in credit card debt alone that are reaching out. Just yesterday, we were in connection with a client that had over $100,000 in unsecured debt, and they were in massive need of debt relief. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this today and really educate people on how this process actually works. I want to talk about the benefits, the pros, and the cons, the disadvantages, the negatives also with this. And that's why it's so important for you to understand is in your situation, are you struggling with a credit issue, a credit score issue, or are you struggling with a debt issue? That's number one. Then number two, we have to decide, well, what are your goals? What are you looking to accomplish? Do you have any lending goals in the future? Are you looking to buy a home in the future? Are you a business owner and you know you're going to need more capital in the future for your business? Because personal credit's going to play a big role in your ability to even get approved for that. Do you have any large purchases coming up? Anything, any changes, any life event changes, I'd say in the next few years, months to a few years, that's important to map out because those type of goals and how firm you are in wanting to achieve those goals are going to play a big role in how we should approach this type of solution to not only empower you and solve the problem, but do in a way that actually will assist in you getting to your goals. That's very important. And then from there, we have to analyze once again spending habits, spending patterns. What does it look like? Are you overspending? That's going to be a big one. But let's talk about debt relief specifically. What is debt relief? Well, I'm sure you hear radio commercials all the time. I mean, especially here in Minnesota, I hear them all the time on the radio. National Freedom Debt Relief and all these different companies. So here's how it works. When it comes to unsecured debt, so that's going to be personal loans that are not secured with any collateral, like a vehicle or anything like that. It's going to be credit cards. That's a big one. In most cases, that's what people are facing. Those I would say are the largest and most common unsecured debts that you can have personally. This does not work when it comes to federal student loans. This is not going to work when it comes to a mortgage. This is not going to work when it comes to an auto loan that is in good standing, meaning it's not in default. This would not work. However, if you have any accounts that have gone into default, that have been written off or charged off as a bad debt and now gone to collection, well, that's where this process can also assist you, debt relief. So what is debt relief? Well, the way it works is a company, we actually have here at Credilife, we have a sister company that handles debt relief for our clients. And the way that it works is one, we first start by doing an analysis of your credit report and all debts. there's already historical data as to who we work with, who we can work with, who's easy to work with, who's difficult to work with, who we can't work with. All that's already built into our process. So we'll know at a pretty confident certainty of what this is going to look like for you. And then on what we're able then to do moving forward is do a full analysis of the overall debt load, all the different creditors that can be included. And then from there, break down a realistic monthly payment that will allow the company, the third party company of ours, to go out and negotiate what's called structured settlements. So these are settlements for less than full balance with payments over time. And these can be stretched out over years. And so the goal is to, one, stop interest accruing. Because if you don't do this, if you don't take action now, all that's happening is interest continues to accrue and accumulate, and you're putting yourself in a worse position. So it's very important that if you are struggling right now with debt, to really analyze this and take action now, and just make sure, once again, in my beginning part of this video, do that type of analysis. You can do that on your own. You can reach out to Credilife, my company here, and talk to my team. We will assist in that analysis and help you make an informed decision. But once again, on the debt relief side, what they're going to do is they're going to reach out to these companies. They're going to negotiate structured settlements. That's payments over time, over years in most cases. Settlement for less than full balance, so you save additional money there. And then on top of that, you're going to save on once that settlement is reached, meaning once there's something agreed upon and negotiated and accepted, and you begin to make payments, that's when interest stops accruing as well. So the amount of savings that you can experience in something like this is massive. It really is. And this really helps people if you're struggling, if even making your minimum payments right now on credit cards and you're carrying significant balances and you don't see a way out, that's where debt relief can be really powerful. If you're someone where you have accounts going to collection, you've already been late on it, 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days late, you're going delinquent, maybe even to default, this is a phenomenal option for you. Because if you think about it, when it comes to your credit, there's any like derogatory or negative information reporting like late payments, the negative impact to your credit is already happened and it's happening. So it's not so much about, oh, I want to protect my credit right now. Well, if your credit's already damaged, if it's already in a poor standing, the damage has been done. Right now, it's a debt issue, and we need to figure out how to get you out of debt to improve your overall financial position. And once we get through that, then we can begin to look at credit repair, credit building, credit management to then build you back up so that way you can move forward with your life. That's what we do here at Credilife. We help with both sides. Now, there are also another option, another company that we work with that's a nonprofit, and it's a different form of debt relief. And the way that this works is, let's say you're someone, you have significant credit card debt, you haven't been late on any accounts, but you know you're struggling. You know that you're at that breaking point, and you don't necessarily want to have any damage to your credit, meaning you don't want any late payments, you don't want any derogatories. Well, the way that this program works is it's through a nonprofit organization, and they'll go through, they're going to negotiate on your behalf where the accounts, this is perfect for credit cards basically, they will essentially negotiate a payment plan over time. It is not settled for less than full balance, so you have to keep that in mind. However, interest rates can be reduced as low as 0%, meaning if it says 0%, interest no longer accrues. They're then able to negotiate an extended payment over time to then pay that account off over time. It is closed, but there's no late payments reporting at that point, which is good. And then once it's paid off in full, you can then reapply to reopen up the account. And so these are ways, these are strategies that can help you, dependent on your situation, what your goals are, to get out of this debt, to get out of the struggle, to get out of the overwhelm, to put you in a better position, actually put you on a plan that's going to benefit you and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's where debt relief can be extremely powerful. Now, here are the negative insides of this type of program. Now, if you're someone that, let's say you would rather save the most amount of money, you want the most relief, well, going through the first option I talked about, if you have not reached a point of late payments and delinquency and default status, credit card companies are not going to be motivated to work with you to settle for less than full balance. Almost every time, they're going to require that that account hit a default status. Once it's in default, it then changes its department who handles it. And at that point, it opens up opportunities for structured settlements for less than full balance. So if you have not yet experienced any late payments reporting on your credit report, well, then at that point, yes, you would have to understand that there will be derogatories that report that lead up to the event of the default. So that will negatively impact your credit severely. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're motivated in a sense of saying, look, I just want to get out of this. I want to pay the least amount. I'm okay with my credit being damaged for some time because I'd rather pay less. I'd rather pay not only save a ton of money, but I'd like to pay less per month, something I can actually manage knowing I'm going to get out of this debt. Well, then this can still be an option for you, but you have to understand that if you have not had any late payments, this will hurt you. Whereas the other nonprofit side, that would not happen. However, there would be two negative sides to that type of solution. One, you don't save as much money. That's going to be the biggest one. You will definitely save a lot when it comes to the as low as 0% on interest accruing. That definitely will save you a ton of money over time and what it would have been if you did not take this option. However, there is a slight negative impact when it comes to your credit scores when the accounts are closed. So you have to keep that in mind. When it comes to like your overall available credit, that's going to change because the accounts are now closed. So now that balance is going to factor towards your FICO credit scores, and you're losing that available credit. So these are the negative sides to it. But once again, what I would say, that's why it's so important for you to understand, like, do I have a credit issue or do I have a debt issue? And what are my goals? What type of relief am I looking for? That's where the magic happens. And that's why what we do here at Credilife is so powerful. We are not an organization, we're not a company that just kind of pigeonholes you into one solution. We want what's best for you. So the more that you share with us as we go through a discovery session of understanding your situation, that's where we can really flex our muscle for you of understanding, like, okay, we have some lending goals in the future. Maybe it's 5 years out. Perfect. We have time. Maybe it's quicker. There might be ways that if you don't want to have that negative impact to your credit and you do have a little bit of wiggle room, we can help you with debt reduction strategies without having to go through debt relief at all. I mean, there's so many different solutions that we can present that will 100% solve your problem. It just takes you to have a conversation with us. That's it. So all you have to do is reach out. If you're interested, reach out. You can reach out to me directly on this video. Just send me a message. I will reply. Otherwise, you can comment or you can reach out or just go to our website. It's credilife.com. So it's CREDILIFE.com, credilife.com. And that will, so there's no T in credit. It's credilife.com. And you can just reach out, fill out one of the forms, and our team will reach out typically same day and connect with you and start going through some stuff. So please reach out once again. Definitely want to continue to put out this education. I just know there's so many people struggling with debt right now. I mean, it's massive. And I want to make sure that people understand that they have options. Do not be one of those people that just sit idle and almost like accept it and get used to the struggle, get used to the pain. Be the person that's over it and wants a change in their life that's positive, and you understand that you got to get out of debt to do it, to open up opportunities for your life again. That's where we come into play to empower you to achieve your goals and make this happen. So thank you so much for your time today. I hope this information was helpful, and look forward to seeing everyone again throughout the week. Have a great day.